Hey Savvy Professionals, thank you so much for checking out my channel, YLIFE Coaching Solutions, where I offer actionable and relevant solutions to help you move through your challenging defining moment while enhancing your confidence and productivity in your personal, professional, and social life. And in this week's video, I'm answering another question that was sent to me. And this question is about how to consistently create content or generate content, as well as how to deal with people who may be copying your content. Now, I wanted to be very open and honest with this response because I have been working in the creative space for about 2 years now, and also working on the business. And I like to separate those in a way because I always believe you can work on your business or you can work in your business, and creating content is part of working on your business. But if you're online all the time and doing videos such as this might be working in your business. So I like to make a distinction about which one it is. But when it comes to the question about generating content and being able to do it consistently, as well as dealing with individuals who may be copying what you're doing, I wanted to offer a different perspective in my response, where I really want to share that when you get into this creative space of being an influencer or generating content or putting your stuff online for social media, then you have to understand that the ideas that you receive are not solely just for you. I like to think that there are a wave of different ideas that are always flowing through the atmosphere, through the ether, through whatever you want to call it. So they're flowing consistently throughout, right? And people always get these ideas, or they attach onto one. They get an idea and they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And some people get the idea and say, yes, this sounds great. And some people get the idea and said, this sounds amazing, and I'm actually going to do something to action it. And then there's another group of people who get the idea and they action it, and then other people may seem to duplicate it. And it's not because this person is copying you, or these people are copying you in some instance, and I'll speak about that in a bit. But it's not that these people are copying you, it's that you were able to get the information, put it together, and deliver it in a way that other individuals may be inspired to want to duplicate it. And really, isn't that what you signed up to do when you decided to create content, to be an influencer, to operate your business, that you would benefit other people by doing it? And I know that some people might say, well, I want the reward too. I want to be able to have the reward, or I see that this person is benefiting from what I'm sharing with them. And I like to remind you that you have signed up to be an individual who is able to get ideas and convert them into information that a lot of other people can benefit from. And it doesn't mean that you're not benefiting from it. It just means that that was not the idea that you benefited from. When you think about other individuals who have been in the creative space, or who have just done a business or in artistry, they do things multiple times until something actually, one of those ideas click and it actually works for them. So I would like to be open and honest and remind you to maybe think about that when you feel as if people are duplicating or copying you. Now, I also want to bring it to the awareness for people who may not be aware that yes, there are bigger companies who sole purpose is to look at smaller companies and take those ideas and make them as their own, because they have the vehicle or they have the resources to do that. So yes, you can be aware that there are big companies that literally their mission statement, or not their mission statement, but their business model is to go and take ideas from smaller businesses or smaller individuals so that they can make it as their own. Now, the thing that I like to speak about when I talk about the content creating or people copying you is that you have to also be aware, because if there is a big company that is always duplicating what you're doing, that big company's model is at the leisure, or it kind of works for you because it's based upon what you put out, what you share with the world, what you create, because that person will always have to come back and say, what is this person doing, so that they can duplicate it and stay consistent, relevant, and doing having their business model continue to flourish. Now, the thing about it is when I speak about it, I say produce with confidence, because if you produce the content, you always know how to produce it. If something goes wrong in your business, if you meet a roadblock, anything comes up, then you'll be able to deal with it because you're able to produce and reproduce what you have done before. So being aware of those two sides, that yes, it's about generating content and being able to pick up. There's a whole bunch of them ideas floating out, and you're like, oh, I like this one, I'll get this one, I'll do something with this one. But they're not all for you, so you don't have to feel as if you're producing or you're making up ideas about all the information that comes to you. They're not all for you, but you can select which ones work for you and how you can convey the message and articulate it so it's relevant at this time. When you look at people who have been in the space, or you look at any celebrity, any entertainer, any person that you may be inspired by, that they were inspired by somebody else, and the information constantly flows from one generation to a next generation to another generation, and that's really how the process goes. So if you have that bigger picture thinking and understanding there, you alleviate so much of the stress and hassle and feeling overwhelmed about how come people are copying me, how come my information not being received, and things like that. Okay, so you have a particular group that you are speaking to, and the more that you redefine or define your message, you're going to be able to articulate and that communicate that in a way that shows your confidence, and then other people will be in tune to it. So hopefully this was a good response and answered your question, and was helpful for anyone who is just getting into creating content or into that space, or moving from one aspect of what they're doing and going into that area as well. And for me personally, I love creating the content. I like to take time to focus strictly on that, and then I like to take time and step away and work strictly on the business, because that's a part that you don't want to suffer when you're thinking about producing with confidence. So there's lots of different areas to it, and just taking the time to see where you're going to invest in each point is going to be helpful for you. So make sure to leave a comment regarding any information that you found helpful in this video. And if you have any questions that you'd like to be covered in the upcoming videos, feel free to send me an email, which is listed here, and I'll be able to share a response in the videos. And you can also follow me on my other social media platforms, where I'm always discussing relevant and actionable solutions to help you move through your challenging defining moment while enhancing your productivity in your personal and professional life. So make sure to like, subscribe, turn on your notifications for the upcoming videos, and I'll check in with you next time. Take care.